We turn now to the wildfires exploding in the southwest and the state of emergency in Arizona. The tunnel fire burning for more than 20,000 acres. Kaylee Hartog has the latest.
Whoa, whoa. Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Trust in your word, waiting on the majesty. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. He opened our eyes, all but we glad to see. He's sending floods and fire. Tornadoes and earthquakes is coming alive. He sit in the place, will you survive? He saw it fall to Jacob on the ride. Cause we got the most side. 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 Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. We got the most side. We got the spirit of Joseph, for famine is coming. I hope you prepared. He about to seal everybody that's in. The Israelites waking up out of the dead. The prophets wrote about it, how can we hear? Protected by the Father, why should we fear? Psalm 91 is all in my head. Acts 1 and 6, we almost there. This is the season, pray without season. Judging the herb, about to take out the heat. In 400 years, we've been struggling, breathing. Going back home, this time we ain't leaving. Devil is man making war with the saints. Put that in our temple, he know that we ain't. Trusting this system, we know that we can't. Babylon falling and starting to stink like, yeah. We know Messiah is coming in here. Destruction is coming, feel it in the air. We got the most high, so why should we fear? Keep the commandments, salvation is near. War without Father, our brother, they dead. If you live it wicked, then he will not spare. We blow the trumpet, hoping that you hear. We blow the trumpet, hoping that you hear. Look at the tragedy, trust in your word. Waiting on the majesty, keep the command. Make sure he ain't mad at me. He opened our eyes, all but we glad to see. He's sending floods and fire. Tornadoes and earthquakes is coming alive. He sit in the place, will you survive? He saw it fall to Jacob on the ride. We got the most side. 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 Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. We got the most side. Time is ticking, Messiah is coming. Look at the wicked, they about to get punished. You saw the children of Israel. Messiah is dragging us out of this hell. He's sending them players, but he gon' protect us. Michael was standing up, he won't neglect us. He threw us away, but he about to catch us. Recompense, they getting extra. He made a promise to Abraham. Filling his word, we seeing it now. That place where they serve, I'm taking it down. He about to free everybody that's bound. Why they awaken the wrath for the Father? He's sending famines and he's sending lava. All but we know that nobody can stop you. They not repenting like you ain't the problem. Look at the tragedy, trust in your word. Waiting on the majesty, keep the command. Make sure he ain't mad at me. He opened our eyes, all but we glad to see. He's sending floods and fire. Tornadoes and earthquakes is coming alive. He sit in the place, will you survive? He saw it fall to Jacob on the ride. We got the most side. 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 Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. Look at the world, look at the tragedy. Keep the command, make sure he ain't mad at me. Cause we got the most side. Zion.
Hey yo, Ren, turn that up.
Only a few of us gon' make it out. Zion, only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take up the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take up the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant. We at the end and we feeling it. We the sand of the sea, but a remnant. Shall return to the word when they hearing it. We the sons of Israel. Our word will never fail. Baptizing in Jacob's well. Holy Spirit ain't playing for real. Will you get protected? He's sending them plagues. I'm trying to make sure that he's sitting rain. All in my life, all in my head, all in my walk, all in my legs. You don't got that blood, you walking dead. Walk as he walk, we should live what it say. Only a remnant gonna be spared. Only a remnant gonna be spared. Abba gon' get us out of these countries. Abba said, let me see who really want me. Forsaking our houses, forsaking our money. We got that signal from heaven, he coming. Drinking his cup, nobody running. Flesh getting weak, but the spirit is gunning. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. But it's only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you can burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you can burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's how my heart hurts for you. And the son, he died for you. Yes, it's true, yes, it's true. You didn't have no clue. That's because nobody told you. They couldn't afford to. Called you monkey like you Goku. It ain't like nobody owed you. We broke the law and they sold you. We did this all to ourselves, Jacob. Now it's the time that you know the truth. You don't know you so special. You don't even see what's next, though. So we cry, cry, cry. Only remnants gonna make it out of here alive. Please repent, my people, cause we at the end of time. Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you can burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you can burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. It's time for my people return. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almighty, 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 creator of His blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, almighty, creator of His blood inside me. We know that it works. Who shall we fear? We got omnipotent, almighty Father, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac and Jacob, the Almighty. Why would we play with? He said, "Do his son for the nation. The covenant back in our faces. Y'all, he with us, don't care what we facing. Where else we gon' go? We gon' trust in his word. Stay on that narrow, don't trust in no turns. Eyes to the east, everybody gon' learn. Put away your sins, are they all about to burn? Past overcoming, got their blood on me. Unforgiveness had to go, I got the love on me. I didn't leave, I got the peace, I got the dove on me. See the kingdom of y'all, I got above on me. Almighty, 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 creator, his blood inside me. We know that it works. Scattered for many years, now we back. Mind been renewed from this world, we detached. The judgment is coming by his will, that's a slap. The wilderness is coming by his hand, that's a fact. The ark of the covenant, I be willing, that's a spot. Where he gon' get us? It was prophesied in the land you was sold by his blood, you gon' rise. Babylon falling, it all gon' go wrong. Keep them commandments, we tryna go home. Before you serve me, go serve him on that throne. Walk as he walk, I'm a clone. Where he gon' get us? Keep commandments, he gon' fight for us. How much she out here to life for us? Rhyme home, blow the right note. Almighty, creator, his blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, creator, his blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, creator, his blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty.
All praises to the Most High, Almighty Most High, the Almighty Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All praises to our ancestors, our Ruach HaKodesh, to our celestial. All praises. Much love, much respect to the Mishpachah, the WhatsApp group, the love and honor that cherish our endurance and perseverance as Yasharel, as we move forward through the madness of this heathen hell. All praises to the Most High, indeed. So we are here tonight. Again, we have Sister Romy to bring us part 2 from last week, because it's imperative that we do. We left off speaking a lot, but we're going to continue. And tonight we'll get into some other things, but we're going to bring it home. And, the seed of Cain is a drain to his people. See, right now you're seeing the drain from Cain's hidden matters. This is the dark matter that we'll be talking about tonight. Cain's drain upon his people, right, is now their vexation. Because now they're vexed. They don't know which way to go. They want to talk about, talk ignorantly about us, as they've always done. But now we're even getting the vassals speaking out of turn. This is why the gain he's bringing vexation, is the gain that he brings to his nation. And these are all his nations, one after another. Nothing else can be established in this world of Cain without anything or anyone not gaining. Now, those who didn't gain, of course, are not of Cain because it wasn't their turn. And that's why today, when we sit back and we evaluate all the information and wisdom that has come our way, we can easily see and say that we are different. Now, a lot of vassals and blassels like to talk a lot of mess, but hold no understanding of their own heathenness, madness of history. None of them want to speak about the history. Nobody wants to speak about their history because in doing so, it brings forth prophecy. That's why all they do is they talk about me and you in a way that is dastardly, diabolically situated in a realm of madness that they have brought forth upon themselves. And now here at the end, when the Father is sanctifying us and making us brighter and giving us insight and wisdom, they're going all out to try to act like they're separating from us. No, we're separating from you. We're giving you no energy. We're giving you no vibration. We're giving you no frequency. We're not voting for you. We're not caring about you. We don't love you. We don't necessarily hate you to kill you like you did us, but we do hate you. We hate what you represent. You represent Cain. You represent no gain for us. And yet today you fix your face in a wayward place to make us feel like we have done something to you? No, there's no truth in that. We come exact and true because our Father has brought us back to remembrance, albeit through the Ruach HaKodesh, the dove, our mother. But we're now being brought back to remembrance. We now remember who it is that is our enemy. We now see them and all of the cohorts surrounding them. Cain, Canaan, and Esau. Their trinity. Their unholy trinity of evil chaos. Yet they want to make it seem like we've done something, when in fact they've been eating off of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When we're now separating so we can seek after the tree of life, they want us to come back to them for some reason so that they think they can rise again. They think that they're going to have an opportunity again. Well, how can you have an opportunity when we no longer care about what you're saying? What you all believe in, what the world has been doing. We're wishing, hoping, praying for destruction upon the nations. Why, you may ask? Why? Because you all have never done right by us. We already know that there's none of the nations will repair us. So we're not seeking reparations. When I hear that coming out of these faces, I say to myself, well, we're not supposed to be repaired. So why would we care what they do with theirs? We're not going to gain anything out of this system until we gain it all. And that's what they're falling over themselves about. Because we know that their paper money is not worth anything. We know that we are rich in spirit. We know that we see the righteous in us now. Now, granted, we are not perfect by no stretch of the imagination, yet we seek it. So therefore, if you don't seek perfection, you shall not be it. And this is the problematic conundrum of the heathen. The Canaanite, Cainite, and Edomite. They do not understand that if they seek perfection righteously, They could be, but they don't. They seek perfection wickedly. They seek to hide a thing, even till this day. And this is why at this particular time and space, we can see through the lies that they say. They are upset, the world is, because nothing is going their way. They can't go on vacation and enjoy themselves. They can't go to work and enjoy themselves. They can't fathom a future where they enjoy themselves. Now, why is that? Because they have not done right by us. And we are the catalysts. We are the ones that have given our blood, sweat, and tears through suffering all the years. And now, when we stand in boldness and strength by our Elohim to say no more, they're at our door knocking, saying, come on out for more, come on out and enjoy. No, we rejoice at their fall, because they have done nothing but lie, cheat, and steal, and make us believe in a deity named Paul, whom, mind you, they say gave them some sort of authority to take the fruits from our tree, not understanding that they're eating off of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When they do this thing, they have gotten us, mentally ill, because we still couldn't gain. But now that we understand that it's Cain who has created this thing that made us the bottom, now they rejoice no more. See, Canaan and Cain were supposed to be under us. In particular, Canaan was supposed to serve his brother. So even if we went into captivity over and over, we would never have been the bottom. Yet, we were the bottom. Why? Because Canaan and his 5 points of deception, lies, and trickery, and vice made everyone hate us and not be nice. And now that we have taken the energy, our oil, which is the thing that they need, see, if we gave them the oil that they needed, they would be evil again to us. That's why the Pope was like, hey, maybe we won't need to be pardoned again. But you haven't been pardoned yet. You hope that you can be pardoned, but you have not been pardoned yet. And even if you think you're going to be pardoned, you shall not, because that's not what was written. So everybody out here knows that something is happening. Something wicked this way comes. And obviously, we're in a Baraka gate, and we are having fun. We're enjoying our peace of mind, our serenity, our shalom. And now that we are dealing with each other righteously, we feel like we're at home in Goshen, while the whole world burns, because we got the Most High, right? Because that remnant within the remnant is the key. And that's the key for the Almighty. And people don't understand how we move. They don't understand how we're doing the things that we do, because as we think, so shall we be, and we think constantly. And it's a beautiful thing to think righteously, so that you can want to be with the Father, the Mother, and our brother in spirit, mind, and body. While everybody else is wanting to be with Jesus, who, mind you, never did anything for us, nor gave us justice. Even though we went to their churches, even though we believed in their madness, in their words, in their church, in their societies. Yet they never came to us on our behest to give us any gain. We had to fight, we had to scrimp, we had to do the things of Cain. We had to sell our souls to Cain in order to gain any bit of dainty on our own land. And now that we are being brought back to remembrance of who we were, whose we are, now here they come from afar screaming, yelling, oh, it's Jeebus of the Whites. You guys, I love you. No. Oh, we don't care about you. We don't care. You guys are talking about cakes and eating snakes, and we don't care what you're saying. Because today is your day of dread. You drink the cup of dread. The Carmageddon is upon you, not us. We ain't making no fuss about what we are going through. We're grateful through and through. We're happy. Matter of fact, we're congregating. We're gathering. And that's a sign of the times so that the whole world will see and know that we are not playing with them. The Most High has switched it all up on them. The congregation of the dead is trying to figure out what happened to them when there is nothing left and they are dead. They are trying to find why they have died when we are still now alive and enjoy rolling with the Most High. And people go, well, you guys are all mean. You guys are hateful. You guys should do more for us. No, you need to do for us first. We've done enough for this world. We've done enough for the world for 7 times worlds. Now it's done, son. We no longer care. We no longer want you near us. We no longer are in fear of you. We see you and how you've operated, and nothing about you has been true. Ish all over the place. Irish, British, Scottish, Polish, Jewish. All are suffixes of kinda. And there's more. Yet you want us to come and hang out with you. You want us to believe in you. You want us to think that what you say is true. This is madness when all of your fruits have been rotten. And you can't clean it up. The bunch is rotten. Only a power greater than the powers that be of the heathen will do it. And that's our Elohim. And people go, wow, you guys are so mean. You guys are hateful. Okay, that's fine. But what have you done? What have you done in your time of rule? Don't talk to me about anything because you sound like a fool when you don't consider your own history. You don't consider we're the mystery. We were the mystery. You consider not, and therefore you are not to be considered. And this is in the ether. This is a spiritual matter. And those that cannot see are blinded. They walk into the tree of knowledge of good and evil, while we're walking free to the tree of life. And that's the esoterically of what we do, why we are to be. People don't understand these matters because they can't fathom them, because it wasn't for them to do. And now we see everything that we're supposed to see and do, and we know what's a lie and we know what is true. I mean, shit is not rocket science, and hell, rocket science ain't even rocket science. So what are they going to do? Anything? What can they do to us that they have not done before? I say this all the time. What can they do? The people who have never gone, who had never endured, are in fear today. Because endurance, and to endure, is to suffer through something painful or difficult patiently, or to continue to exist and last over a long period of time. So the Africans will come and say, well, yeah, that's us too. Listen, Africans, you all need to deal with the Dutch. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me who I am or what I need to do. Deal with the Dutch. The Dutch destroyed the Congo, and you fools are coming at me. The Dutch destroyed South Africa, and you fools are coming at me and us, the people of the books. You guys should be losing your mind on the Dutch, but yet you don't. You leave your land to come over here to tell us that we are you. For what? Dainties and some shoe and some glue so that you can feel good about yourself? So you don't no longer eat doo-doo? Madness. And all you blassels who sit here in my land and tell me who I am, telling me that I am African, you need to take your ass to Africa. That's as simple as that. And all you vassals who call yourself a Spanish of his and a O of Latin need to go to Spain, go to Europe. You're not the original. We know that. And we ain't even mad at you because all of y'all are going to have it your way. You're going to have it your way. And it's not going to be a good way. The Most High is coming to take you all away from us. The great sanctification, the delineation of and from the nations. That's prophecy. As he gathers us back to his bosom under the comfort of wisdom, being brought to light under the protection of Yahweh Shah, our Messiah. Not yours, not Jebus of the Whites, not Allah, not even Hindu or Shiva or Buddha or any of them. None of them. Ours. We have our own perspective. We see things our own way. The days of you saying that what we have to say and do is your way is done. We don't care what you say. We don't care about you. If you're a stranger, then do what it do and get on board or be destroyed. Because we're not praying for universality. We're not praying for that. That's what we used to do. We're praying for the destruction of you. Because the sooner you're destroyed and away from us, the faster we get to our kingdom and the faster justice comes for just us. So all this other madness and such that these people want to continue to put out there in their little collective poor subconsciousness to make themselves feel good about who they are today, that shit is a dismay, and it clearly is a mental illness. Because none of them deal with their history. None of them deal with the truth. They all can only go back to the 1800s, no further. 1897, Benin, Nigeria, Negro land was colonized by the British man. 1897. Well, that's weird because that's where you said you got us from. 1897. But what about 1492? So in 1897, you started your slave trade? No, 1619. 1619? You start a slave trade with 20 people that you say you brought over from Africa? Listen, it is our turn to rule. It is our time. We see we're not dealing with y'all's lies no more. We're dealing with the truth, the facts of the matter. And if you can't bring facts of the matter from our first editions, mind you, not no 20th editions, no revised editions, but the first editions that prove who we are. If you can't do that, then you need to go somewhere. You need to just fall off the earth, make it easy, shut the hell up, and go away. Or the Most High is going to make you, internally, right now, you're struggling. No more dainties for you. Because for the elect's sake, he sped up time on that ass. And right now, that time is the commencement of it. The spiral is to the center, the wheel within the wheel. And now here we are healed, mind, body, and spirit. And these gates that are coming up is going to be tough on you. These curse gates, you guys don't know what cursed is yet, but you're going to feel it. And it's not going to be nice, no. And you're going to be looking for us to say something, and we ain't going to say nothing. We're going to let you go. Go meet your demise, go meet the destruction, and rightfully so. Because none of you guys are still not telling the truth. So we're going to do it for you. We're going to pray against you. Because you all are Cain, or have taken the oath and covenant thereof. So, at the end of the day, the seed of Cain is a drain to his people. Now, vexation is the gain he brings to all his nations. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. We have Romy and Brother Sly. Shalom. Both much love and respect. Sister Romy.
Shalom, 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 nation. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Yes, Cain is definitely a drain. And I want to touch on how they're kind of draining themselves, like with CERN, for example. So CERN is a four-letter word for the Center of European Research Nuclear, or you would say the Center of European Nuclear Research, which should tell you that if they're still researching nuclear, they don't have things to destroy us with. But it's a giant machine, Large Hadron Collider, and they're smashing atoms. They're trying to get to the Higgs boson particle, what they call the God particle, which is, for them, that is when the universe was nothing, dark. So they're trying to rip open dark matter. They can't go back. You know, the Make America Great Again, it's not working. So they're, you know, like you said when we were talking earlier, they're looking for an escape hatch. They're looking for an escape hatch.
That's right.
Right. So they're using CERN to try to open portals or rip through the time-space continuum or rip through dark matter, which you don't really want to go doing any of that. And so they've had all these accidents that are happening. And for me, every time I think about them or see stuff, what I envision or what I see is that everything collapses in on them because they're deep underground, and the machine, I mean, it's this huge giant racetrack that runs through stone tunnels, and then there's some places that, you know, are built in like a office or whatever, but what they're trying to do, it's not going to work. So anything that they do is going to backfire, but it's just a question of when the Most High allows it to happen. The other thing and so that's draining because every time they turn it on, the people over there in Switzerland, and because it's also under the earth, it's sending out frequencies. And that's why it's important that we keep our frequency extremely high so that it cuts it out altogether. Then there's Starlink, which is Elon Musk. So when he was over here doing Doge, he was doing that because he was cutting a backdoor deal that would allow the Federal Reserve and all federal administrative areas go online to Starlink instead of whatever satellite system the feds were using. So they've gone online to Starlink, in particular the Federal Reserve. And so when you have your bank routing numbers, all bank routing numbers are under the Federal Reserve System. So there's glitches in the matrix. CloudStrike recently experienced quite a few glitches. CloudStrike is under Starlink. Anytime you're transitioning from one computer system to another, you have to expect extreme glitches to minor glitches. You have to expect it because the system is, you have a new system taking on data from another system. Okay, so you have to expect some glitches or some incompatibility between the information coming in and the system receiving it. Okay, so they're having that. Having said that, if you make your payments through your routing and checking account number and you're under the correct, I guess, celestial timing, I'm not sure, but those payments could actually be registered on one end and completely disappear before it gets to the other end. The other end would be your checking account.
That's right. Yep.
So
and what is that? Is that good or is that bad?
that's great for us. Okay, so there's a lot going on with Cain trying to find this escape hatch out of what's coming for them and them draining their system by trying to take over everything.
Yep.
So, you know, even with the AI coming, none of that, all of that. So they already had internal problems with AI. The guy who was house was attacked. The government wants his system because I guess he's got the best one, and he's saying hell no. And then he gets an attempted assassination attack. So you figure out where that came from.
Right. They always killing somebody that says no to them.
Right. So and he's a ish that don't believe in the Most High or any particular God, and if he does, it's probably the one inside of AI. So if they believe in that, then they're already on the losing team, so they're going to lose. So that's kind of how I look at that. Okay, I don't look at them as ever winning. I don't see that. Okay, so that's how they're draining. Okay, but it's really to our gain if we understand all the things that are going on in the celestial realm, because it helps us understand the esoteric. And so, right. So, that's all I really want to talk about with respect to Cain. Now, do you want to read the Gospel of Judas? And then we can shift. Yeah, because I'm going to shift over into the celestial, and that's pure celestial.
Okay. So let me just set the stage real quick. So the Gospel of Judas is Yahushua speaking to the 12. Now, this is a good read if you guys want to check it out. It's very interesting. However, when you're reading it, and as I was reading it, it was shown to me that I'm setting the stage. This is in the ether. This is in the spirit realm. So if you recall, before Judas sold the Messiah out, so to speak, they all went into where they were going, to the wilderness and to the thicket, whatever, up to the mountain, and they all fell asleep on Yahweh Shai. And when they all woke up, that's when Judas had brought the Romans. Okay, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking to Judas, but if you read it, you'll gain more insight. And I may do this. I was telling Sister Romy, I may read it on just a solo mission for the mission.
But I mean, it's very pertaining to also like the Book of Enoch, and it talks about the luminaries as well. So it's like a 3-prong.
Yep. It breaks everything down from everything that we already know, including the numbers and everything. So here we go. This is Yahweh Shai reveals everything to Judas. Yahweh Shai said, "Come, and I'll teach you about the mysteries that no human will see, because there exists a great and boundless realm whose horizons no angelic generation has seen, in which is a great invisible spirit, which no angelic eye has ever seen, no heart has ever comprehended, and it's never been called by any name. And a luminous cloud appeared there. And he, the Spirit, said, 'Let an angel come into being to attend me.' And a great angel, the self-begotten, the Elohim of the light, emerged from the cloud, and because of him, another 4 angels came into being from another cloud, and they attended the angelic self-begotten. And said, the self-begotten, 'Let a realm come into being.' And it came into being, just as he said. And he created the first luminary to rule over it. And he said, 'Let angels come into being to serve it.' And myriads without number came into being. And he said, 'Let a luminous realm come into being.' And it came into being. He created the second luminary to rule over it, along with myriads of angels without number to offer service. And that's how he created the rest of the realms of light. And he made them to be ruled, and created for them myriads of angels without number to assist them. And Adamas was in the first cloud of light that no angel could ever see among all those called God. And Adamas begat Seth in that place after the image of and likeness of the angel. He made the incorruptible generation of Seth appear to the 12 androgynous luminaries. And then he made 72 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation according to the Spirit's will. Then the 72 luminaries themselves made 360 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation according to the Spirit's will, so that there'd be 5 for each. And the 12 realms of the 12 luminaries make up their father, with 6 heavens for each realm, so there are 72 heavens for the 72 luminaries, and for each one of them 5 firmaments, for a total of 360 firmaments. They were given authority and a great army of angels without number to honor and service, along with virgin spirits too, for to honor and service all of the realms and the heavens with their firmaments. Now the crowd of those immortals is called cosmos, that is perishable, by the Father and the 72 luminaries with the self-begotten and his 72 realms. That's where the first human appeared with the incorruptible powers. In the realm that appeared with his generation is the cloud of knowledge and the angels who's called Eleleth. After these things, Eleleth said, 'Let 12 angels come into being to rule over chaos in Hades.' And look, from the cloud there appeared an angel, whose face flashed with fire, and whose likeness was defiled by blood. His name was Nibiru, which means rebel. Others call him Yaldabaoth. And another angel, Saklas, came from the cloud too. So Nibiru created 6 angels, and Saklas did too, to be assistants. They brought out 12 angels in the heavens, with each of them receiving a portion in the heavens. And the 12 rulers spoke with the 12 angels, 'Let each of you, and let them generations 5 angels, The first is Yoath, who's called the good one. The second is Harmathoth, the eye of fire. The third is Galila. The fourth is Yobel. The fifth is Adanois. These are the five who ruled over Hades and are the first over chaos. I went a little further, sis, but go ahead.
No,
That
you're
was where you
fine.
told me to stop.
You're fine. I mean, you know, when you read that, and when I read where I'm back at the top where it says, and the great angel, the self-begotten one. So when
Mm-hmm.
that word, I think of the word Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, emerging from the cloud, and then there are the four angels,
Yep.
right? So we know that there are four angels to the four corners of the earth as well.
Yep.
So, it's not very easy to draw a comparison to anywhere in scripture except to the book of Enoch.
Right.
Um,
That's right.
because, right, because he talks about, the luminaries, and the
Mm-hmm.
first one to rule the day and the second one to rule over it,
Mm-hmm.
which is our realm.
And see, this is what we talked about earlier. And see, what did the heathen do? What did Cain do? Cain said, "There's only one. There's only one heaven," and he said that so that he could rule over it. Because
Right,
if he had everybody believing that there's only one heaven and he ruled over it, then they would listen to him. But if people knew that there were 72, then people would question sometimes, or rather, they would have questioned all the time, these false Canaanites who have set themselves over everyone.
right. And the 72 names of the Most High is for each of these 72 realms. That's
Hmm.
why it's important to know the names, and then you'll know what realm you are accessing.
Right.
We have access through the covenant, through the Most High, to anything that's in the luminaries and in
Hmm.
the heavens above. And if you look in Genesis, it says he created the earth, singular, and the heavens with a S, plural.
Hmm.
So we can't just take their word. Now, they also talk about the fact that the 12, and then they add up to 360, which is correct. And then you
Hmm.
have the 4 days of remembrance. So this is where I see it linked again with the book of Enoch, because it talks about when you have the 12 solar lunar cycle, 12 months at 30 days, you have 360, and then the 4 days of remembrance. So this is where I see a lot of correlation to the book of Enoch. Um, and then he talks about the 12 angels having 12 portions. Well, those are the 12 portals.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, and I'm not surprised that Nebro rules over some of them, because some of them are curse gates.
Right. Right.
So he's going, he's all the angels, again, like with King Ahab, when the Most High was having his council with the angels, and this is in, I think it's in Chronicles, he says, or wherever Jezebel and Ahab is, he says, who's going to go down to Ahab and deceive him? And one of the angels says, I will.
Hmm.
So the Most High is the one that's sending out all these spirits. In the last days, he will pour his spirit out on all flesh.
Hmm.
He's controlling all spirits, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
Yep.
he's using the Shadim and these portals to bring out his judgments.
Yep.
So that's where I see the correlation between this part of
Yeah.
the Gospel of Judas and the book of Enoch, and part of the book of Jubilees.
Well, let's add second Baruch in that, because the commencement of time
Okay,
is the 12 woes, right? So
correct.
so we're looking at how all of these things are fitting the same numbers over and over and over again, right? So
Right,
when commencement of time comes, would that not necessarily mean that he's opening up his portals? See, while the heathen was ruling, he allowed them to rule, but they could not open portals. They could not move esoterically. That's why they had to go and seek, do a Indiana Jones and find all these artifacts, but they were never the ones that could esoterically think. So at the end, though, when he outpours his wrath and love for his people and wrath for the nations, he's opening up portals to do these things. So it's just funny how there's a flash flood in New York,
right,
but not in Jersey. You see what I'm saying? These
right.
portals are working through the luminaries, which he controls, to bring wrath upon the nations. And when people can't rationalize that, because they only understand one heaven, and they only understand this, the God of their own choosing, the God of their own making, Jebus of the whites. And
So,
Jebus of the whites does not like meanness. He doesn't like hate. He loves everyone except for the Negro. But go ahead,
no,
sis.
so wherever the sin centers are highest,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, curse portals are going to open
Yeah.
because number one, right here. So at 51, he says, and after these things, Elieth said, let 12 angels come into being to rule over chaos and
Mm-hmm.
Hades.
Right.
Okay. So chaos is upon the earth. Hades
Mhm.
would be under the earth.
That's right. There you
Okay.
go. Hmm.
And look, from the cloud there appeared an angel whose face flashed with fire.
Hmm.
That's the bar,
Right.
and whose light
Explain what the bar is.
the bar is the word of the Most High. It's the angel over fire. It's the bar is um, the first Erkedeshoy that's mentioned,
Hmm.
and it means the word of the Most High. Okay, so when you use fire, you want to use it with respect, and I mean not just for the obvious physical, you're going to burn a place down reasons, but
Hmm.
for the spiritual reasons. That's why the menorah and lighting the menorah is very important, and why you let it burn out. So the
Hmm.
bar is the angel who's over the word of the Most High, and he represents the element of fire. Um,
Hmm.
you have to repent to get access to the bar. You have to do a repent. Each of the Erkedeshoy has a specific type of requirement for you to repent. The bar, his requirement is that you sing songs of love and repentance. So I hope you see the pattern in why I tell people you have to start elevating the frequency of your music to tap into the angelic realm.
Right.
Celebrate good times. Come on. That's a good way to start with Cool and the Gang. It sounds strange, but I'm going to say this for the last time. You got to get rid of the satanic gospel music. It is
Hmm.
not of the angelic or the Most High's realm, not the black ones or the white ones.
Hmm.
Got it? You can't do that.
That's
You're gonna have,
Cain's Cain's music. Go ahead, sis.
yes, you're gonna have to go to other genre
Hmm.
areas of music, early rap songs.
Yep.
Why is that? By what's his face? It'll come to me. But yeah,
What about Gangstar? The Moment of Truth.
fine.
Everyone needs it. Yep.
You have to go. There's music in house music. There's a lot of the old
Yep.
disco songs singing about heaven must have sent you.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, And if you vet the words, you'll understand. So songs of love, if you start throwing out them gospel songs from the church or insanity Christianity or the Catholic, all that garbage stuff, you're going to piss off the Most High.
Yep.
That's like you going out in public in booty shorts. You would not be representing, because
No.
people are confused. They think, well, because it's a church song,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's got to stop. But songs of repentance, and then of course, he covers the Most High, the fatherhood, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's guardian over agency, and agency is important to us because if I accept my agency from the Most High, then I will be successful with the Most
That's right.
High in it.
There you go.
And the agency could be your purpose, it could be what you are meant to be over. So that's what the bar means. And so here, when we read in Judas, this angel rules over chaos and Hades. And look from the cloud, and there appeared the angel who flashed the face of fire, which is the Most High, the bar, the word, and
Right.
whose likeness though was defiled by blood. So that means innocent blood,
Mm-hmm.
which we know Cain is famous for shedding innocent blood.
Indeed. That's right.
His name was Nebro, which sounds like Nebo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hebrew.
but
Right.
well, no, Nebro, the idol angel in one of those other pagan cultures.
You mean Nero?
No, Nebro, something like that. Anyway,
Yep. Go ahead.
rebel. Notice it
Yeah.
says rebel. That's what this word means. It means it's a rebel. So anybody that's a rebel, that's a spirit put in them by the Most High. This is an angel. Others called him Yaldaboth, and another angel, Sakalas, and came from the cloud too. Now the cloud is a burial. So the cloud is a burial. So some of these angels are coming from the Erkadashoy. So Nebro created 6 angels, and Sakalas did 2 to be assistants, and they brought the 12 angels out in heaven. When you look in the book of Enoch and you look at the gates, and he talks about what is in each of the portals. In the cursed portals, there's more things. So each of those things are governed by some of those angels that was created.
Mm-hmm.
Because those angels are created to bring out the curse gates and the double curse gates. And so this blue moon that's coming up, that, people are like, ooh, the blue moon and whatever and all of that. Because we're in not a 12-month, but a 13th month solar lunar cycle, this blue moon is starting summer. And as you can see, the weather patterns have been all off because of the cycle of the Most High system.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that. So one of the things I was saying to Brother Moriel is that part of the reason 83, the masses, not the elite, they're in a flux. They really don't, they're like, okay, why is this happening? Whether it's, those tankers collapsing recently with the stuff that's threatening to come out and poison the environment, or flash floods or whatever, because they're not looking at us as the catalyst.
That's right. Yeah.
They don't believe that our awakening, our Ezekiel 37, the awakening of the dry bones, they don't believe that that's us.
Right.
And they don't believe that because we're awake, this is why it's happening. So they don't believe we're the cause of the timeline, the eschatology they're in. We know this timeline. And so our job is to navigate it correctly, because that's what we're on now. They're in a panic, but not a panic only because of what's happening, a panic because they can't figure out why. And we're talking lower masses.
Hold that thought, sis. See, this is the duality. We, under the curses in blindness, always asked why. Why is this happening? And they used to always give us an answer, some BS answer always, but it was always an answer. They always knew. They got experts, they got PhDs. Everybody could tell us, pastors, blasters, whoever, right? Well, now within the commencement of time of the exchange of situation, within the 12th woe, now we are wise to the why, the truth of the why. And they're asking why. Go ahead, sis.
And they can't answer their own question.
Mm-mm.
Meanwhile, the elite knows why. They tried to, let's go back and, when they say make America great again, it's not just America. They meant let's go back and have the old world, which was their new world. That was their new world order. There's the new world to come is ours. There's no new world order under no Antichrist, which that's that white Jeebus image. So that's all a wrap. So because they can't go back, they're now looking for an escape hatch.
Yep.
Whether it's the moon or trying to open a portal.
Yep.
The portal is not just for them to go into, but hopefully they're trying to see if they can, in their mind, I'm saying hopefully, not us, that they can bring out their demonic God or whatever. They are, yeah, they are messing with the harmonic frequencies. That causes, and then look, the more the wicked take the wicked out, the more Shadims are left to roam the earth. So here's a scriptural warning. It says, when you close your door to one demon, don't just think your house has been swept clean. You got to keep it clean, because that demon has gone out to get 7 more. Okay, so we have to be under the higher harmonic frequencies, and we have to be in our Braca gate and our Braca loop. Demons shouldn't be, if anybody's under demonic attack, there's something you're doing wrong with the law, statutes, and commandments. That's all I can say. There's no other well, how do I fix it? You're doing something wrong with the law, statutes, and commandments, and you got to go sit down in a corner with the Most High and figure it out. Nobody should be under demonic attack, especially if you're under the covenant, in particular if you're going through the full moon calendars. So the blue moon that's coming up, everybody's all abuzz. Apparently it will be peaking at 4:44 a.m.
Can't make the numbers.
Right. Can't make up those numbers. And that's coming from 83. Right. So while CERN is putting out frequencies, which is going to be opposite of trying to invoke the Most High, obviously, we have to put out frequencies in our home. The earth is a harmonic frequency itself, and the rulers, they're messing with her frequency. But it's not going to work, but it's still causing ripple effects, especially for those that are not under the covenant.
Yep. And that's the key. That's the key. If the covenant, if the law was given to Jacob, right, only, and his descendants are woken up into the law, statutes, and commandments, then that only makes sense that the stranger would be connected to them because they're lawful. They, the heathen, the unlawful, needed us to be connected to them so that they can continue to gain unlawfully.
Right.
But now that the law is back and in the hearts and minds and bodies of the children of the Most High, now the whole world is struggling because they don't know, because they're blind, right? They blind, baby, blind to the facts, right?
That's right. I mean, now that the law is back, judgment is on the earth.
Correct.
Because this is this is the end time prophecy that when the children of Yasharel turn back to the Most High, Babylon will be destroyed. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. Babylon is the worldwide system. So when we look at the earth as having harmonic frequencies, it's living, breathing spirit, right? So even the Most High, the oceans, right? Um, the oceans are very powerful, and they are controlled by I'm trying to get the angel that they're controlled by. Sarah L. So Sarah L is the power of the Most High. So we do want to make trips to the ocean, but we want to do it like Wednesday morning when everybody else is at work. Can't be going to the ocean on a Saturday during the day when it's packed with everybody. That's a no-no. That's not going to work. We don't do what Babylon does. First of all, that's a Sabbath. So
Yeah.
unless it's winter time and no one's there, oh, then you can go out down to the ocean because you're going to be fully dressed and you're just going to communicate. That's fine. But you can't be up in the mix and the mayhem, because that picture that I sent you, right,
Yeah.
about the gates of Babylon is about to be shut. I felt that very prophetically because that's a spiritual gate.
Yep. 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 And that's what they're, and that the gates is the problem for the heathen, because they remember now the Pope who croaked opened the door,
Right,
or he thought he was opening the door. So where we said, we looked at it and we saw his face and we're like, oh, he opened the door. He saw something. Well, maybe he opened the door and didn't see anything. He thought that he was opening the door to his and their salvation, their church, his church's salvation. But he didn't see anything. He saw nothing but darkness, just like William Shatner, who, when
right,
he went up into space and he came back down crying in the face, and they said, well, what do you think? He said, all I saw was darkness. I was scared. He had fear upon him. The same look, the same thought process, they both saw darkness, which is the gate. They don't have the ability to see the esoteric. They are not the elect. And this commencement of time is not for their sake. Go ahead, sis.
right. So when we talk about the oceans, right? So Sarah L, the power of the Most High. So the oceans, they're controlled mainly by the full moon. Once the moon starts to lose its light, it no longer pulls. It no longer has that electromagnetic pull. Um, and to access that Erkadesh, you have to repent for pride, and the body, it governs the body, the life of the Most High, and it has guardian, refuge, and sacred places. So you could ask for refuge in sacred places. The night of the full moon, Sarah L will be, the oceans will be at their strongest power. So these are all the electromagnetic fields that are around us that's governed by the angels that we have access to through the Most High and through being under the covenant. So May 31st will be the blue moon that everybody's, I will be having a nice feast and I will be celebrating, and everybody should do the same. Please pick some good high frequency music. However, when you sit down and you are communicating with the Most High, you must understand that that night, um, the energy is high enough so you can write your request, but you can only use the word of the Most High for it. So the prayer of Jabez, like we said last time, there was another prayer that we had mentioned also, and then The moon, okay, so there's a celestial dome. The firmament, pure electromagnetic energy. It's from the spirit of the Most High. The sun is giving off energy 24/7, while the moon holds the energy to full capacity. So when it's at full capacity, that's when we can access Amethyel. Amethyel is the angel, the Erka Deshoy over the full moon. And so for me, that's when the best time to make those types of requests. Okay. The electromagnetic static, the real power movement of water. So the full moon pulling the water, that is a very powerful time. The ocean currents, all of those things are coming from underground up. And then the moon is coming, the electromagnetic is coming from the moon down. And we are in between. So each of us have to know that we have the power. And if we do the feast days correctly, the full moon will start the summer. It sounds early, I know, but this is the Most High. He has an order for everything. Once you figure it out, you go with it. Speaking of which, I had gotten, okay, let me take care of this right now because thank you. It just came into Olivia Stone. The email address you sent for the material is not correct. It keeps coming back that it doesn't work. So if you could do a Gmail. Now I saw the ending email, Proton. I guess that's from Canada. So it's not compatible. So it's not, I'm not able to send you your request. And so I'm just getting that out there because I don't have any way of letting you know that it's returning to me unsent.
All praise to the Most High.
Right. And then the sister said that I could share her story. She's in her Bruckaloop. She paid off her car note. And the daughter's in her Bruckaloop, and the daughter was the one that was kind of hunting her down to make sure that it was going to be May 31st, the night of the blue moon, and not last week. So that way she would be there for their feast day because, so that was almost 2 weeks ago. So when I said, yeah, it's May 31st, she's like, I'm preparing from now. So I was like, okay. And then she told me she paid off her car note. And I said, now that's what I'm talking about because now you're in, she said she's in her Bruckaloop, all praise. So
Yes,
I would suggest that you use that energy and you harness it through the covenant and the word of the Most High.
Yep.
That's we are the only ones that have the right to use the word of the Most High.
Yep.
When we are fully under the law, statutes, and commandments.
And I want to add to that because that's collectively. See, we get to now collectively grow. That's why some of the sons and daughters of Zion got the WhatsApp thing happening, which is a growing group of understanding and wisdom. That's why we do what we do on Wednesdays and do Brother Sly and I and Romy too. This is about the collective growth because because a nation is built collectively. So everybody else is trying to break down the nation, trying to separate the nation, and it only is about for a few. That's all the Most High needs. He don't need everybody. He's building his nation now. All those that he has sent to, north, south, east, and west. Well, when we build and the nation is built, then he'll return them. The gathering doesn't mean all at once, everywhere, one time. This is about a continual, we have eternity going forward. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
1,000 years plus eternity.
Right.
We're just at the beginning of it. The commencement of time has begun. And the world is out here upset because they can't find any way to have any more fun. That's why they're coming up with stupidity of ideologies that does not make sense. There's no reason, there's no common sense, there's no logic to it. They're holding on to narratives that are just base. And it's okay because we're moving forward. Go ahead, sis.
No, I mean, that's exactly correct in that, we're building a nation, and we're looking forward to what's to come, while
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is just, they're terrified of what's going on, let alone I don't even think, and I'm talking the masses, I'm not talking the elite. The elite have their prognosticators. They know what is coming, period. They know
Mm-hmm.
they can't stop it. So since they can't go back, let's see if we can escape.
Yep.
Okay. The masses, they haven't told the masses fully yet, because the masses are not the one wailing and gnashing of teeth. Not yet. They're just in this flux, like their world is falling apart. Nothing's working for them. They thought Trump was going to be their hoorah, turning out that it's not. So, I mean, what can I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we have that power. Now, here's the thing. If we don't build that power individually, then collectively the power isn't there. The power begins with your study of the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's, you need to put that number one. My power begins with knowing the laws, statutes, and commandments. Because when you know the laws, statutes, and commandments, and any part you see any of it being violated in Babylon, you can call it out to the Most High, and it will be removed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know what to call out, then you don't know what to remove.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's that, talking of Babylon, that picture where the gates are shutting.
Mm-hmm.
If we're too involved with our 83, we might get shut behind the gates with them
Right.
and not get out,
Shut out, not shut in. Right.
or shut in Babylon,
Well, right. Well, shut out of the
shut out
kingdom,
of the kingdom.
not shut into the kingdom. That's right.
Correct. And so if you get caught inside the gates of Babylon when they close, and I don't know when, nobody knows when. See, that's, to me, that's the day and the hour.
Mm-hmm. It's that
Okay.
musical chairs, sis. It's
Well,
that
no,
musical chair.
I mean, nobody, I mean, I could never tell you, oh, it's going to close in 3 days or 3 years or whatever.
Right.
No. But so spiritually speaking, we're not to know when, because we're to be out of it, period.
Anyway,
So,
that's right. Mm-hmm.
right. So being inside the gate is not necessarily that you're partaking in Babylonian practices, but if we're still hanging on,
Mm-hmm.
we may get times where we get to go and see family and see them,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not celebrating no Christmas with them, and none of those things. They're gonna have to stop, because things like the spirit out there. The spirit out there is that the individuals, like the guy that took out his 8 kids,
Yep.
or 8 children, these are the spirit of the Most High. He's poured his spirit out on all flesh. Some of them are out there for deceiving spirits. Our job is to get our house in order, spiritually speaking, first, by
Mm-hmm.
being under the covenant, and then physically by taking care of it and coming around to these feast days and keeping these feast days, so we can generate high frequency and be protected, because we are the ones that's creating the judgment by coming
Mm-hmm.
back under the covenant.
That's right.
We're no
Absolutely.
longer in harm's way. So now
Mm-hmm.
he can zap the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, May 31st will be the day of remembrance. So I normally have pictures of my parents and my grandparents. I don't have any symbols of any ancestors that I don't have their name.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You can't do that. You cannot do, you
Because you know,
can't,
right.
right. You
Right.
can't put symbols of ancestors that you don't know about. You just know that they are a group or a title, or you can't do those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a day of remembrance, And it comes from the day of remembrance from the book of grandmothers.
Right.
Okay. And so you want to have your grandparents that were good. If you had a grandparent that was not good, don't put the picture there.
Right.
You might not even want to have a picture of them. And I know I'm going to hear it from my younger sister when she says, "Where is such and such?" And I'm going to be like, it's in the dump, Polk County dump. And I'm telling you, if you remove pictures of anybody that you know is wicked, I guarantee you that spirit is gone. Gone.
Now, I want to add to that, because again, we have repented for the sins of our forefathers and mothers, right? So a lot of it is, if we have the faith to understand, I agree with you. You don't need to
Right.
be
That's
putting people out, which is
okay. So
ridiculous.
that's a general repentance. But what I'm saying is, for the dinner, don't
Oh,
put
gotcha.
pictures of people that you're not sure about. Don't do that. You got to know that these people, they died with a clean heart, even if they went to church. Okay? Because I know a lot of our grandparents went to church, but they died with a heart for the Most High.
Right.
It wasn't about church for them. It was about having a place where they could hear the word of the Most High. And most of the time when they went, they could have got some good preaching back then. I don't know. But I'm just talking about, like, if you know cousin Ray Ray was out there doing drugs, don't have a picture of him at the table, okay? That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
No, I
So,
get you.
right. You can't be a hypocrite.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like when it says the Most High is no respecter of persons, that's not what they're talking about. The Christians twisted that to tell you everybody's welcome as they are. And the Most High told Moses, take your sandals off, for where you stand is consecrated ground. So you can't go to him the way you want. You got to go to him the way he wants you, and then you'll access his power through all of these things. And you will see things happening. So, you know, I don't really, when I look at how the masses in 83 are in this flux of not understanding, it's coming at them left, right, and center. And, you know, the Most High is moving in ways like the black farmers, for example. They won their case and they got $2.2 billion. And then shortly after that, the Most High allowed me to see in Oklahoma somewhere a town meeting of Esau, and the police department basically said, we paid out the 40 million for the civil rights discrimination case, police shooting, whatever. I don't know which one, but you know, it was against a black person.
Right.
And if we don't fill back that amount, we won't be able to continue to function. So we're not seeing behind closed doors what these lawsuits are doing to them.
Yep. Decimating them. Right.
Right. It's taking them out one way, and the Most High then takes them out another way with the weather calamities.
And that's
so,
the curses.
Right. They're
They'll
all
be going in one way and run out the other.
Right.
Right.
Right. They'll flee 20 ways.
Right.
They'll come at you one way, but flee 100 ways. And so now you see, like, the tankers are blowing up, right? So I'm like, well, of course, because everything is dry rotting. Because why? And what came to my spirit? Because when they had free labor in us, right? Everything was kept up, spit, polish, and shine.
Right.
When we demanded pay, they fired us.
Right.
So everything's rotten. Right.
Rotten
So
to the core.
Right. Serves you right. You don't want to pay us? Okay, no problem. Most High is going to take it out. So their things are collapsing all around them. And again, like I said, then there is the weather calamity, so the 83 masses, they're just kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Because they're not looking at us as being the catalyst.
That's right. And I want to add to that real quick, because
Yes.
one of the things that you had spoke about earlier about the remembrance piece, right? As we are coming back to remembrance, the Father is putting their spirit into nostalgia. So
Mhm.
they're in this spirit of nostalgia to where they want to look like they did back in the 80s. Everything stems from the 80s or the 40s, depending on their age, right? So they want to be in the 80s when they were able to, do everything and anything they wanted to. The nostalgia spirit has gotten them so off tilt that they're not looking forward. They're not looking at a future. This is how we know that they are not in the right frame of mind. This is why we know that a lot of their mental illness comes from forward thinking. But go ahead, sis.
No, I mean, that is correct. And so, again, when you look at the fact that they're not understanding the whole esoteric,
Mm-mm.
while we now understand the prophetic timeline because we're the ones that's activated it. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
we didn't cause the prophecies, but we activate them when we came back on when we came out of the curses and
Mm-hmm.
came under the covenant. Everything starts to get activated because we're under the protection. The Most High can now send out the judgments.
Mm-hmm.
We're protected from the judgments. While
Yeah.
we are under the protection, we want to establish again this Brucker loop. Part of that is understanding the power between us, the earth, the celestial elements, the angelic realm to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we know there are multiple heavens because the angelic realm minimum has 9 levels. That's minimum.
Minimum. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So, and we don't know how many levels to the celestial realm. What I do know is that we are under electromagnetic dome, a celestial dome. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
when the moon is full and the ocean is full, the Earth is a huge ion capacitor, so it's generating perpetually, and it's generating electromagnetic energy. So, like May 31st, around the full moon, you want to pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're watching. Those because whatever you're those three things are your spiritual, your physical portal gates, your eye gate, your mouth gate, and your mental gate. And so if you're going to do the dinner for the day of remembrance to start the season of summer, and you write your intentions as you're leading up to it, you want to make sure your table is set. You want to have your meal. You want to have your wine because you're going to need those. You want to have your dessert. Again, at some point, you're going to open with Psalms 118 and whatever other scriptures come to you. And then you can say your intentions again. And then you can put it in an envelope and stick it in a drawer and forget about it. You can burn it in the ashtray, whatever. Um, but this is a meal. And then what you want to do, you want to play good music where the frequency is high enough so that everything that you put in the ether gets pushed up into the celestial, into the angelic realm. The Most High, He's receiving it, but He wants that worship.
Mm-hmm.
He said to Moses, "You tell Pharaoh, this is what I want. Let my people go to worship, not just let us go. We go do what we want to do. No, no, we got to worship. We got to worship the Most High. He will take care of everything else. Anything that they make is just gonna take. What it's gonna do is it's gonna destroy them and help us.
Yep.
And that's what we want to look for. We want to look for them creating all kind of crazy nonsense stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, because when I see like all the crazy stuff that they're talking about, what they're doing, and all of this. I mean, I don't know, but to me, it's like a comedy of errors.
Yep, it
You know, it's a
is.
comedy show.
It is that.
So
It
pay
is that.
attention. Yeah, so pay attention the night of full moons, but in particular that one. It's a blue micro moon. Again, while Pluto is in retrograde, that means that that is time for you to go inside, not to dig up dirt, maybe to throw it away though. And if you don't throw away the inner dirt, just throw it away. Just don't analyze it. Don't get mad at it. Don't get mad at who made it or who gave it to you or how you got it. Throw it away, because you cannot vibrate on a higher frequency when you have negative anchors weighing you down. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to let go of it, especially since these because I'm seeing what you're popping up on the screen, but when you see things like our ley lines are open, it's
Yeah.
easy to get through if you have the joyous attitude. You know, that's going to be important. So we have a blue micro moon, and it's in, Pluto is in retrograde at the same time. So during that meal on the 31st, you definitely want to do some repentance, okay? Going inward. But again, it is for cleansing. It is not for retrograde. Don't go retrograde into it. Let it go. Like I said, it's gonna be at its peak at 4:44 a.m. I believe it's Saturday the 30th. So this particular
That's this weekend now.
right. That's this weekend. This particular blue moon, you should be able to see it for maybe 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's far away, it's going to be very, very powerful. Okay. And then going forward, June 9th, we have Venus and Jupiter conjuncting. Now, basically, what that means is those two planets are going to be close enough together. Again, these planets are creating electromagnetic energies. A lot of you need to start understanding what these planets govern, okay? Because they govern more than I could ever give right now. And if I gave just 3 parts of it, then you would think, well, that's it, or, and that's not it. You have to understand what it does. However, if you want to see it, June 9th, right after the sun sets, you look west northwest, and you should be able to see Venus, which is the brightest one. That will look blue. And then you'll see Jupiter, which will be not so bright. When you see these planets, there are angels over them. And so knowing your guardian angels as well, all angels move in the angelic realm, so they are technically above looking down. We're down looking up. And so we have to understand the hierarchy of and the respect that we have to give for what the Most High created, especially in not worshiping them, but using them for elevating. So August 12th, total solar eclipse. It'll be from Greenland to Spain. We're just going to see a little bit of whatever. I always say this. Whenever there is a solar eclipse, while the entire earth is out there looking up, we need to be inside, down on our knees, thanking the Most High. We have to do the opposite of Babylon. While Babylon is out there with them glasses, I don't know why. Okay. Because I always ask myself this. So what did the ancient Egyptians use to look at the solar eclipse?
That what now?
What did the ancient Egyptians use to look at a solar eclipse?
Well, back then they were sun gazers.
Please don't go out. Please don't go out there and look at no solar eclipse without those glasses. don't, I'm that's not what I'm saying. It was just a question.
Right.
And so I don't know, from this is from before I even knew I was a Hebrew. I always felt like while the whole world is out there looking up, I need to be inside looking, just not like not doing that. I just
Yeah.
felt like that was something that would upset God, because that's how I thought of God then, not the Most High. So I've
Hmm.
just never felt that. And then once I got into the walk, I know why. Because that's a Babylonian practice
Hmm.
to go
To
out there
see.
and yeah,
Well, because what is it? What is it?
I'm talking
Wicked
solar.
a wicked generation seeks a sign, right? So all
Correct.
these people are seeking signs. We already know when that comes. To me, when that comes, when these celestial events happen, that just confirms that our time is near, and confirms that their destruction is near. So I don't
Correct.
need to go and get confirmation by looking at it. I can gain
Correct.
the same power by just knowing it. And I think that's more important than, because there's so many people. Plus, the energy is not conducive to what we're seeking at this time. We're seeking the power. The power of the
Right.
eclipse is also in us.
Right.
So, you know,
And I
it's
mean,
just
technically, when you think about it, the difference between the sun turning to sackcloth, black, as
Mhm,
sackcloth, right?
mhm.
Black is the color for judgment.
That's right.
And so they should be seeking their judgment.
Hmm. Yep.
Whereas the blood moons and the full moons is
Yep.
about the electromagnetic energy, because it's only existing until the light fades from Emetheo. And once the light fades from Emetheo, which is the name of the full moon or the moon, Emetheo,
Hmm.
once
Hmm.
it from her, once the light fades from her, she then has to get her energy rejuvenated back from Shemesh, the male
Yep.
sun. And that's another indication that the male is dominant over the female. The female gets her energy from the male. And if
Hmm.
we understand how that works with the Most High, when He said, let us make them male and female, let us make them in our image.
Hmm.
Both are great in their own, but the knowledge of understanding what makes each one great in the distinctions is what we really need to understand. Whereas Babylon
Right.
wants you to
Right.
believe everything's equal,
Hmm.
feminist movement, equal
Hmm.
rights,
Hmm.
civil rights. What do you mean civil rights? We got to have rights to be civil,
Right. From an uncivil people,
right?
it's an
So
oxymoron.
so we have the power, right? They're dealing with those oxymorons. We have powers to block the energy from the ley lines. Now, the other thing I noticed was this, and it I saw it the other day. When Spock used to do that live long and prosper thing, right? From Star
Hmm.
Trek.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's the fifth commandment. Honor thy mother and thy father, and thy day
Hmm.
shall be long and prosperous. So they've been stealing our stuff from forever. Just a little side note. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Starlink, again, why Starlink? Because they got over 15,000 satellites
So they
monitoring.
say. So they say.
Well, it's supposed to be more than that, but monitoring everything that's moving around. Now, those satellites, if they are up there, they're under the dome. Okay, let's just
Mm.
get that straight. All right,
Right.
we're under the dome. We can cause disruption in their satellites.
Yep.
We can do it on the higher energy days, and you can do it on just about any day if you can maintain a high energy frequency in your home. And
Hmm.
so, there's this term. It's called hermetically sealed. And what that means is when your house is sealed like that, you have better control of your temperature always staying at exactly where it needs to be for you to feel comfortable. So you're not burning excess heat or cool to, heat up or cool down.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually speaking, if I can hermetically seal my Brucka loop, right? And I can only do that by continuing to elevate at higher frequencies. Because
Right.
at the lower frequencies, you have CERN, you have human emotions, you have the two-third, you got 83, you got the Most High's judgment. You have all these things, and the only thing we should be focused on is the Most High's judgment, and then us elevating. But of course, they have all these distractions because they have to draw that energy to the distractions. So when
Mm-hmm.
I look at the news, I automatically say it's the Most High's judgment. I don't I don't question it anymore because then I'm giving too much energy, too much entanglement to that.
Sure. Sure.
The
Mm-hmm.
moment I say it's the Most High judgment, half of the time I'm moving on. I don't even watch the rest of it, and the other half it starts to become even more comical. So
Exactly. I just laugh at their calamity because it's the Most High's will.
correct. So your spiritual self is using patterns now because of the distractions. Your spirit, so you pay attention to your repeating numbers and things like that, the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Patterns could be distorted by the matrix, but we can also create, we're creating glitches.
Mm-hmm.
I think every time we keep feast days, it creates glitches shortly thereafter, or yeah, there's no or.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I personally, I am waiting for 2027
Mm-hmm.
when more of us are going to be on the same feast days
Yep.
according to the Most High, because
Mm-hmm.
the full moon will be March 22nd.
Yep.
And I would advise all of Yasharel to just keep it on the night of the full moon. And let's see what happens.
Yep.
Let's see if things should definitely elevate for us. I would say the new year, if we could keep the new year March 22nd, 2027. So those
As a
who,
collective, you're
well,
saying as a collective.
yes, because those who are aligned with the equinox, which is March 21st, okay? So you might as well just, if we keep the new year and we blow the shofar, okay?
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying we've never done it. So I'm,
So let me say this. When we in January, uh or January 10th, we all were in sync collectively to be the head. So that was last year, January
right,
10th last year.
right,
When we were all in sync, look at how fast everything went or spiraled out of control for them.
correct,
So collectively, this is just my thoughts on it, and I understand everybody. Like before I even say that, um, rehearsing the righteous acts is key. It doesn't
true,
mean that it's got to be always on each other's time, right? That's what I'll
right,
say, because when we get to the kingdom, everything's going to be made known, right? So right now, if we did decide as a collective to do something on a specific day for the Most High, imagine the power that, because see, now the algorithm's like, God damn, that nigga right there, he talking too much craziness. Well, if we did decide to collectively do something for the Most High on a specific day, date, and night, reveling in the power and the majesty thereof, or therein, it would trigger a complete exchange of situation. Now, me saying that don't mean nothing, right? But at the same time, is it a coincidence that I'm just saying that now? Is this something that was supposed to be stated right now? I mean, when we did it before to be the head, are we not the head? Have we not gained wisdom over the heathen? Are we not at peace? Surely we are. And that's what you're saying, sis. Like, if we can get in one accord, put
Right,
everything aside,
right.
and just be on one
And
accord
have
for the
that new
most
year next
mhm,
year on that one day,
that one day, it
March
would be
22nd.
powerful. Hmm.
Can you imagine if it, and then, especially to the four corners of the earth. Now, that is something for the Most High to do, not for me. I don't know about you. Maybe you have that calling. I'm not saying it to be sarcastic or facetious. I'm saying it to be real. I
Hmm.
just know that that's not my calling. I'm not a four corners of the earth type of person right now.
Right.
So, but the thing is, even just here in America, just America alone, where the true jewels of the Most High is, which is the tribe of Yehuda. That is not something that I still can't disprove that. I've been trying to disprove that this is not the tribe of Judah, but I can't disprove it.
Well, I mean, we're mixed, Judah
No,
and
no,
Yashar.
no, 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 no. From a research perspective, if you
Hmm.
cannot disprove something, then it
Right.
must be true.
Sure. Sure.
And so, raising the tents of Yehuda, that is something that has always stuck with me. And these are the tents that are being raised first. So, the
Hmm.
fact that a tent is still a portal, we have to start operating on the esoteric level
Hmm.
where we're no longer fighting a physical government but a spiritual Babylonian worldwide system. So
Hmm.
if I wasn't tracking the full, if the Most High didn't have me tracking the full moon with the
Hmm.
Ruach, I wouldn't be able to come to the realization that next March that full moon is on the equinox, well, the Roman equinox.
Hmm.
So that's an opportunity for all of Yasharel. And when I say come together, I mean spiritually, I don't mean physically.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so we're on different time zones. That's perfect because a portal is open basically from sundown to sundown. That's the Most High's law, right?
Yep.
Right? Right.
Yep.
So he's not, see, it's up to us to do the here a little, there a little, and apply it. He's
Hmm.
not going to have two different rules for one function. He may
Right.
have multiple rules to achieve it, but he's not going to have two opposite. And then you got, okay, no. So a portal is sundown to sundown. That's what a portal is. And
Hmm.
you having your intentions written off of the word of the Most High, being under the law, statutes, and commandments, carrying out the full covenant of the law, statutes, commandments, and the feast days, understanding why food is very, 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 very important to the Most High. Okay? You got to understand that. So you got to understand why you have to be clean.
Right.
Right? That's not in their DNA.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
No.
Understanding that we connect through the ley lines, through the electromagnetic field. So when you are trying to get into your Brucker loop, while Pluto is in retrograde, you want to look at how you're receiving your messages, your spiritual messages from your angels. By now, you should know who your angels are. If you don't, get Big Levi's 8K Family Handbook, and you'll know who your three guardian angels are. Um, but you want to look at number one, alignment. And so the repeating numbers is definitely an indication that you're in alignment, you're on the right path, but they have specific meanings. And so it's up to you to draw that meaning out. Now, there's another pattern of repeating numbers like 1222. If you keep seeing 1222, first thing I do is I seek out every scripture that has chapter 12, verse 22. That's what I do.
Yep.
It'll take me a couple of days to get through every chapter that has that, but not every book has a chapter 12. And if it does, it doesn't always have a verse 22. But if it does, that's one of the things I do with repeating numbers that are not like 444. And you can still do that. You can go to chapter 4, verse 44. You can go to chapter 44, verse 4 in Isaiah, for example. So that's one of the things you want to do with repeating numbers is use them for scriptures first and foremost to see what message you're getting from the angels and the Most High. That's how you use that. Okay? You're not
Because that's the codex.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That creates the codex.
Correct. The codex is the code that you develop to enhance your frequency and your materialization of the things that you want. Correct. That's why part of my codex is Psalms 118. You will know, especially when you get to the bottom half, because you're creating that codex, that language between you and the Most High. The other thing that you want to do is when you're operating correctly, you may think like you're prevented from doing something. You get blocked from doing something. That's not a negative. That's really, you're being redirected.
Exactly.
If you're prevented, so let's say you wanted to go on a vacation with the fellas or the girls and everybody starts dropping out, it's time for you to be redirected. You're not to do that. So that's a good thing, because when you're being redirected, it means you're going back onto the right path.
Which means there's a righteous reward cometh.
That's correct. And you have to be careful out there, because the spirit, the spirit of the Most High's judgment is out there. And so you can go to the supermarket, you run into somebody, you can have some chit chat. All conversation doesn't have to be so serious that you feel like you're dragging the anchor around. No, absolutely not. But folly is not what you want. Because folly is right. And if you're running into these Christians and they start talking to itching ears, if you can't drop it like it's hot and move away, just say, oh, you know what? Oh, I gotta go take this. My phone's buzzing. They ain't gotta know that your phone is not, on vibration, on ring. Just walk away, because you don't want to get bogged down in that. You don't. So, we can't do certain things anymore, period. So guarding your eye gate means that, honestly, y'all need to get rid of your TVs. I got rid of mine, so I can't tell you to do anything less. When it was time for me to give up eating shrimp, I didn't want to throw it away because I had so many of it. But yet I had to let go of it. And when my sister said, well, you could give it to, one of the heathens, and I thought I could, but how is that right?
Right. Because now you're just passing on what you know is poison to poison someone else premeditatedly.
So finally, I just threw it in the trash, and I'm talking pounds, yeah. And it's the same thing with the TV. I got rid of it. I'm like, no. I mean, if you can hook up your smartphone, which, speaking another side note, all 2026 cars are now going to be designed with cameras. So they're going to monitor you. If you're having
but hold up now. We ain't buying 2026 cars.
Nobody's buying that.
Too expensive, and they're not even. It's not even worth the money.
But
What is that?
here's the worst part. If you are having a panic attack, the car's going to pull over and disable itself
Hmm.
and put you through a series of gosh knows how long exam, up to 45 minutes, before it would declare you able to drive. And that's just a panic attack.
Well, and that's a double edged sword as well, because let's say that you are you. It may seem like you're having a panic attack, but you're running from somebody. You're trying to get away from something, and the car won't start because it thinks you're having a panic attack.
Right.
It's the heathen have the heathen always wants to add in some semblance of a god of their making into something to be able to control an individual. That's why, again, my 2016 that I'm rolling until the wheels fall off, because I don't need all the heathen's devices. As far as television, I see that, yeah, you don't need to have a bunch of TVs, but there's certain things that you need to see because all eyes will see. Now, that's a lot to, that can go either way, but at the same time, there's confirmation on the TV. So I hear you, because you are at that level. But again, there's multiple levels in this.
I mean,
And
there definitely is.
mhm,
And I'll be honest with you, all my life I've always preferred hearing music over watching
mhm.
television. When I did watch TV, it was the sci-fis and the
Right.
black and white movies, and I
Mhm.
watched those movies for the furniture.
Yep.
I'm serious. I watched all the black and white movies for the outfits and the furniture
Mhm.
because they knew how to dress then. Today they
Right.
don't. All you got
Yep.
is nasty butt in your face, which is disgusting. Okay?
Mhm.
So for us though, we
Lasciviousness.
right, lasciviousness. So we want to be in a complete angelic alignment with our angels. We want to
Mhm.
be in alignment with the Ruach HaKadosh, most importantly with the Most High. We want to be redirected from any Babylonian stuff, period. And
Mhm.
then there's the activation part. So this is a three-part process of
Mhm.
receiving and understanding the messages that you give out to your Malachim, your
Mhm.
angels. The activation, you'll know that things are activating if you get what they used to call deja vu. I get that a lot. I've had that a lot. And one of the things I've said, and people will hear me say it, is like, wait a minute, do that again. And they'll be like, do what? Do what you just did. You mean touch this candle lamp? Yeah, touch the lamp again. I swear I saw that before.
Mhm.
And I have seen it before. And that means that whatever materialization that you're calling out, it will be activated. Activation doesn't mean it fully materializes. Activation means it's beginning to materialize. You'll also have major timeline jumps when you have deja vu. So, if you experience deja vu and you want it to be a timeline jump, at the moment at which you experience it, rather than me saying to the person, do that again so I can confirm it's deja vu, I wouldn't put the energy there. What I would do is in my mind, I would go, that's a timeline jump. I want to jump into this
Yep. Yep.
person, place, but not thing.
Yep. I mean, because at the end of the day, we are manifesting. And again, going back to last year, January 10th, we now understand the manifestations of things. Now, again, that was us individually connecting to the collective. Now that we are part of the collective, now that the collective has been established, see, that's something else. Now that the collective has been established, now it's time for us to fit into the collective. So what you're saying, what I hear you saying is that, hey, it's time for us to move forward,
Right.
even more so than it has ever been. Because Cain, now that we see Cain, and I'm not going to be long-winded, but now that we see Cain and Canaan and Esau, we already saw his ass. But now that we see these three, the trinity of the heathen, now there's nothing else hidden. Now we can move forward freely because now we see them coming in front of us and in back of us and to the side of us. Now they're not hidden anymore. So now all we have to do is start manifesting our desire, which our desire is our manifestations righteously. We want our
Correct.
kingdom.
And
So
and honestly too, because the Most High knows your heart. So for me, honestly, is for me myself. I want to worship the Most High in style and royalty. That means
right.
I gotta have nice things. I don't want
Mhm.
nice things because I want nice things. I
You don't
want to
want nice
worship.
things for vanity's sake.
No, I want nice things to worship the Most High with.
Correct.
So I
Correct.
want nice things. I want to worship the Most High with nice things. I want to worship the Most High in royalty. Royalty requires nice things. It doesn't require chipped glasses that you're
Hmm.
drinking from. The Most High would be like, "Oh, really? What did he tell Cain? You really bought your best, didn't you?"
Right.
Right,
That's right.
because Cain bought the worst.
That's right.
The Most High says he wants the best. So if he wants the best, it's not just the best steak, it's not just the best goat meat or whatever. It's also the best things that you sit down with. And nobody's saying, run out there and go broke. But for those who are in apartments, these are the days for you to tell the Most High the prayer of Jabez, that you want your territory enlarged, you want your land,
Yep.
because you don't want to be in an apartment with a whole bunch of heathens around you.
Right. And that's the thing. We got to start again, the collective manifestation of Goshen. Goshen is the kingdom.
Correct.
So we got to start really thinking about what it is collective. We know what we want individually, but we have to look beyond ourselves, and we have to see ourselves in the kingdom with the mishpachah, with the righteous mishpachah. And if we do this on a daily, then we manifest. Now, when we come together and collectively think, then we also exponentially gain that power, that manifestation. So
That's
this is
huge.
and this is why we went into the esoteric. Go ahead, sis.
No, that's
This.
huge because so the micro is the individual.
Hmm.
If you are not vibrating at a higher frequency than you were yesterday, for example,
Hmm.
and I'm vibrating at a higher frequency and you drop to a lower, you're going to pull me down quicker than I can pull you up.
That's right.
And you can try that by you standing on a table and you try to pull somebody up on the table and you
Hmm.
see how quick they can pull you down. You can't
Yep.
pull nobody up on a table. You can't. Not unless you're a bodybuilder and you're an acrobat.
Right.
So when you have people with low frequency or when your frequency gets low, it's your job to pull it up. Then when we all come together on a higher frequency and we
Hmm.
join that magnetic frequency together, man, talk about that. That's the real nuclear bomb right there. Oh, thank
Right.
you, Ruach, for that one.
Right. That's
Now
the
that's the
manifest.
real
That's the
nuclear bomb
manifold.
right there.
That's the manifold. That's everything coming together, creating a power greater than the powers that be. From the power source. Kind of like a prime example is a what's it called? Oh my goodness, the extension cord, not the extension cord, the power surge,
Your surge protector.
surge protector. Thank you. Prime example. Plug into the source, multiple outlets. That's power.
That's power.
Hmm.
And so when we learn to do the micro and come together and create the macro,
Hmm.
okay, So even where it said, where two or more are gathered, there I am. Now, when Messiah said, there I am, he said, there, Ahaya. He didn't use the English word I am. So he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking
Right.
about Ahaya. But the Christians want you to think that Jesus has all the power, so you just
Right.
turn to him.
Right.
Okay? When Messiah said, when two or more are gathered, there I am in the Hebrew is Ahaya. So he was talking about Ahaya. And if we can esoterically decipher it, then we gain more power.
Right.
That's why I personally use Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya at my feast tables.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
use Yahweh when I'm upset with the world and I want him to just strike it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I personally use Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya, opening for my feast tables. Okay? And there's a lot of songs by the Hebrews with that name, Ahaya. All right. The
Yep.
Hebrew language itself is also an electromagnetic energy source.
Yep.
So when we say Baruch Hashem, bless the name, that has very powerful energy in it, especially coming from us under the covenant. So when you're trying to do your materialization, you got to be in alignment with the Most High, the law, statutes, and commandment. That was going to redirect you out of Babylon. That will allow you through your activation cycle, whether it's deja vu. Just remember, when you see deja vu, rather than trying to see it repeated, focus on jumping the timeline right then and there. Like you could say something like, when I walk out my door, it'll be whatever, or it'll be warm or cold or whatever. I don't know. Jump the timeline. It's up to you to work that out. Now, during the timeline, there are glitches. Glitches can also redirect you. Okay? Redirection is an alignment. Don't fight it. It has to come naturally. If anything is not coming naturally and you're feeling stressed, it doesn't belong. Anything that pulls your energy down, that makes you feel stressed out, does not belong. And your job is to get rid of it, not to analyze it, not to dissect it, not to try to psychoanalyze it away. And, well, why is that happening to me? No, something happened that you think is bad. What you think is rejection is the Most High's protection from something evil. So he's keeping you away from a group or whatever. You go with it. Okay. Glitches. You heard of the Mandela effect, right?
Yep.
Okay. It could be a glitch in the timeline. It could be the leaders of 83 playing tricks on us. I don't really care about that. The ones I care about are the ones that I'm going to try to figure out how, and whenever I figure it out, I'll bring it to the nation. But there's a way that we can control the glitches between the satellite and their computer database systems. Back to the satellite to another receiving. From a sending database to a receiving database system. There's a way. I'm going to figure it out, but I've been seeing it a lot. And Starlink is admitting to having glitches, Elon Musk stuff. They're admitting to having glitches and stuff going offline and coming back online. And so, like I said earlier, they took on the federal banking system. And I guess they thought it was just going to be a smooth transition. But anybody in computer can tell you, you're moving data from one system into a new. You should expect minimum to maximum glitches. Okay? We can also affect it, though, because those satellites are up in the celestial realm, if they're up there. I believe they're up there because my mother used to work for AT&T when they were AT&T. And they were the ones to send up some of the first satellites. And she said that it was up there. She didn't go up there to see it. They didn't show her no. I think they showed her a picture before it was launched, but I believe they could launch satellites because they got drones.
Well,
And
the satellites are not outer space. That's the difference.
no, they're inside the dome.
Right.
And then the Most High made it so that when I was in Atlanta, I worked for SBA, which is a cell phone tower. So my client was Verizon Wireless. And so I had to clear the titles for the land that they were going to put the towers up on. The towers, they all came with these mechanisms. So, for example, Verizon put the tower up, but it rented out a slot to AT&T Wireless, to Sprint, when Sprint was around at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile. So, I mean, they got the wireless, and Satan's the prince of the power of the air. So I'm going to err on the side that they got satellites, just so that we're prepared. Because if they don't have it, then there's nothing to worry about. And if they do, then we can pray against it, and the Most High will take it and use it for our benefit. Because
Well,
that's how
sure.
I
I mean,
feel.
exactly. No, I agree. I
I
agree with
feel
that.
that everything is going to be for our benefit. Then
Everything.
there's right. So then there's synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Synchronicity again is when you see those numbers. When you see those
Mm-hmm.
repeating numbers, and if you keep seeing like 1010 or 1222, then I would definitely go look up scripture, chapter 10, verse 10. And I would read through every scripture until one of those message resonates with you. Um, but synchronicity will also happen when things are going correctly in your life. Like the sister that's like, "Are you sure it's May 31st? Because I'm starting from now." Well, that was 2 weeks ago. So she's definitely in some synchronicity if she's going to start 2 weeks ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
got to
right.
find your synchronicity. If again, for those who are in apartments, I feel the need to say you've got to ask for your land because you're around a bunch of heathens, and I'm praying for you on
Wait a
that.
minute, you breaking up. You choppy. All right, you choppy a little bit, sis.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, for those
You
of
were a
you
little
who are
choppy a second.
for those of you who are in apartments, I'm praying for you that you get your own land, and you've got to ask for your own land because you're just around a bunch of heathens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so look for the synchronicities in your life so you understand how they're working. Um, one of the things that causes your frequency to drop is any self-doubt, and you have to get rid of that. Your DNA has
Told
mem-
you. Mm-hmm.
your DNA has memory.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that when we do spiritual things, it helps manifest better in the physical. So if you're keeping the days of remembrance and your DNA has generational memory, I'm trying to tap into the generation that was under the law, statutes, and commandments and having a royal diadem on their head, a royal
Mm.
crown.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm trying to tap into. So knowing that when you're doing these feast days, you write these things in. When you're seeing, and I'm trying to get everything out. So, you might have to listen to this and categorize it. When you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing repeating numbers, one of the questions you need to ask yourself is, what was I thinking just before I saw the repeating number? Because that is also another alignment. When you see repeating numbers, one of the
Mm-hmm.
questions you want to ask is, what is my mission?
Mm-hmm.
You want to use the repeating numbers to initiate new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask, what is my mission? That's a new beginning versus what was I thinking just before I saw the repeating number? When you ask that question, what was I thinking before I saw it? That's more of an alignment to a path. So you can ask
Mm-hmm.
multiple questions that your spirit is going to bring up in you. And when you ask those questions, do not expect an answer right away and don't expect an answer to take
Right.
forever. You got to let it go,
Mm-hmm.
and the answer will come to you, and you'll remember the question. You will not even forget the question. You don't have to worry about, oh, I got to remember that question. No, ask the question, mind meld it, thinking about it, um, and then move on. So these are the powers that we're going to have once we come in alignment with the Most High first, with the celestial realm, the celestial time clock, the CTC.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that we're going to have access to through the Most High while the entire earth is cleansed of the wicked.
That's right. That's right. That is correct. And the people get mad because they don't understand that the wicked has to pay. And people want to act like the wicked get another opportunity or they can be turned. No, they can't. They haven't been turned yet. They haven't. The world's not righteous. The wicked hasn't done the right thing. So when are they going to turn? Will they get another 3,500 years? No. They get another 6,000 years? No, that's not what was written. What's written is when the commencement of time, the 6,000 year from Adam to 2026, per the transliteration of the romanticized biblical Bible of stolen Hebraic scripts or scrolls, states from Adam to 2026 is 6,000 years. So in 2027, as we've stated before here on this show, on this during lessons, 2026 is the mental illness year. That's the year of
Yeah,
our separation and their mental illness, where they begin to internalize things and get crazy. And 2027 is when it becomes a physical scenario where they start going against each other. So this whole concept is starting to bring together the reality of the greatest sanctification the world has ever seen. Go ahead, sis.
that's right. And that separation, we know it as the wheat and the tares, but it has to come to a final
Mm-hmm.
timing. And so when I saw that picture that the gates of Babylon will soon be shut, the first thing I thought is we can't be caught inside that gate. We got to be on the other side of it. And so part of that, the more we harness our power, the more our heart stays with the Most High. Because if we lack confidence in the power of the Most High, then, we're liable to turn a foot. There but for the grace of God go I. So I have to stay rooted in the Most High. And
Mm-hmm.
he says to be rooted in him is to come out of Babylon and worship him and
Yep.
worship him. And to do that it's in the covenant. It's these feast days. It's keeping the
Mm-hmm.
law, statutes, and commandment, because he says, don't come worship me if you're not obedient first.
That's right.
And the obedience is to us, each of us learning it. So once we understand how to utilize the celestial elements, the full moon, the sun for its healing properties during the
Wait a
day.
minute. Where'd you go, Roman?
I'm here.
Or is it me?
I can
Hey,
hear.
give me a one if y'all can hear me. Give me a two if you can hear Romy.
Yeah, because I can hear you.
Okay, well, I couldn't hear you.
So,
Okay.
we want to utilize, okay, good. We want to utilize the sun during the day to get our healing energy. And we already know that's why they got us working 9 to 5, because they got to keep us out of the sun. And we want to utilize the full moon for the electromagnetic energy in and of itself, where it's drawing up the electromagnetic energy beneath the earth in the ocean and above the earth in the full moon's energy. And during that time, these are why the days of remembrance are set on them, because it's ushering in the double curse gate. And I definitely want to keep my bracha going, especially in a double curse gate.
Yep. Yep. Well, it is reaching my rest time, since I am the only one that has to get up in the morning.
So sorry. I'm
Go
in
to
my
my
bucket. I'm in my bucket gate. So hey.
I understand. I understand. Hey, I'm right there with you. Me too. Quietly, me too. That's why I got to get up, do what the Most High wills me to do.
There
So
you
it's all,
go.
it's all good.
Yeah, you gotta
But
hit. You gotta hit the ship.
that's right. That's right. That's right. And we'll do more. We'll come back as we know, as everyone knows.
Definitely
We'll just keep
before
this moving.
before the next blood moon.
Yes. What's that?
August
Before
28th.
July or
August
August? August.
August
That's
28th
right.
is the blood moon for the seventh moon, full moon for the year, which for me, that's going to be my feast of
Mm-hmm.
trumpets, that blood moon, because it's the seventh one. So I'm just going.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, definitely for sure. But just everybody, you know
Yeah,
what to
and
do
and
for
and
May
I'll say this.
31st. Sorry.
May 31st, and I'll say this: we definitely collectively need to manifest our kingdom in a righteous way. It's time.
Definitely.
They are
I'm
the
sorry, I just saw small Levi. Merci beaucoup to you
right.
also.
Hmm. And I mean, because the heathen is they're on the run, they're squirming, they're at a low estate. Now it's time for us to pick up the pace. So all praises. Thank you, Baruch Hashem, Mishpachah, for being here, taking the time. Baruch Hashem, Sister Romy, Brother Sly, for being here, taking the time, doing the Most High's will to bring wisdom to the nation. And we will definitely do this again. Again, over the group, the WhatsApp group is doing a mighty work. So check them out as well if you want to be part of it. Other than that, we're gonna go out with some power and some magic. Oh, let me say this. Hezekiah, big ups. I love that brother. He's provided
Yes.
very good music
His
for us.
entire catalog is good. All of it.
Hmm. Hmm. And also big up brother Big Levi, because his music is tight and he has provided us with it here on this platform as well. So all those, and Judah Blood, I like a couple of his too. Just giving some shout outs because it's true. But all the Mishpachah that takes their time and listens and studies and provides us love in the ether, here's loving you back, and much love and much respect. We're going to go out, like I said, with some magic, some powerful magic. All praise to the Most High and Shalom.
Shalom.
And bring you straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice spots, perfect peace. Even if the world stop talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring you straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice spots, perfect peace. Even if the world stop talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring you straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that.
High scientists, we the flyest sons of Isaac. Analyze it, same ones that civilized it. Realize it, lilac, we verified it. We be them stone temple pilots as we align with time and this prophesied that dry bones will come alive and begin to rise. They recognize and see the sign, now they petrified. All praise to the Most High, so they stay silent. Thunderstorms are getting violent. The Lord's working. Granny told us to keep quiet. And just listening, just to wreck and slay giants. The power to manipulate clouds and change climate. It's a good time when God's jewels come out shining. Cause all your violence and oppression created diamonds. While you're hiding full of panic, fear, and anxiety, we be reclining, kick back, chilling, and winding. Magic.
That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. How we do it. Be straight to it. A what? Even if the world stops, magic. How we do it. Be straight to it. Oh wow. Even if the world stops.
Dearly beloved of the covenant, yeah, we own it. We up now. I was moving every opponent. This working now is proving the truth to be your atonement. And maybe here have mercy. I'm playing with devil on it. Yes, indeed. We the chosen seed, planted like a tree, big and tall. We can never fall, cause we rooted deep in the walls of a mighty God. You just wait and see who the balls. You know who we are, you know who we be. I'm a God like my daddy is. He had many kids come together. We'll break you off. You know what it is. Got the magic in this automatic. Don't you hear the static? Used to panic when we hit your planet. Leave your city slanted. Not to mention we got angels in positions with munition. Then we hit you with precision. Eliminate the opposition. Better listen your submission. Paramount to your condition. Better go above the mission. Should have had a better vision of this magic.
That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. How we do it. Be straight to it. Oh wow. Even if the world stops, magic. How we do it. Be straight to it. Oh wow. Even if the world stops, magic. That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Hold the spring, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, I'm cooler than an icebox, perfect ease, even if the world stopped talking about that magic.
Crush giants, power that can navigate clouds without pilots, power to influence the crowd and start riots, bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power, got the strength to crush giants, power that can navigate clouds without pilots, power to influence the crowd and start riots, bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Yeah, all gold, everything. 5:30 when the bell rang. Whole building power up like a cell, man. A million years still running like a Mustang. Yeah, it's a new day. Stained glass all red like a Tuesday. Stay on 83's head like a toupee. Magnetic, how the blessing pursue me. Excuse me, cause we coming through. All dressed like Thursday, so blue. Looking good, smelling good, feeling brand new. Like we ready for the king to make his debut. Coming near you. It's a party, y'all. Put your feathers in the air, gon' start it off. Got the power, ain't nobody scared of none of y'all. We give the praise to the Most High, set it off. Don't let it off. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power.
The dark gods. As like we talk about the word Elohim. The Elohims can be considered gods. Plural. Not singular, plural. So you're talking about different extraterrestrial entities.
All praises to the Most High. I and I keep a sharp sword and it's close by. Settle my debts, we don't mess with a cosign. Pattern my steps in the field for the landmines. Beat begging like a hand sign. Going back to Jacob's trouble, that's a damn lie. Shit the vibe like a ley line. And we'll light this place up like it's daytime. I got the message, be at peace, so I'm feeling cool. And I don't care about your yapping or your flipping fool. Cause we ain't never giving energy to any enemy that's literally made for nothing but a footstool. You special down to the molecules. Got the magic manipulating your particles. And we do it for the saints with the arsenals. Keep your Grammys, radio stations, and articles. Wow. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence.
Some of these gods, the most top beings over us to lead us astray.
Power. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power. Got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence.